Hi online learners, this is your instructor Ryan Murdoch, here to help you with APA style. Please keep in mind that I did provide you with an announcement on how to format references. There are also several websites that have been provided to you in the e-resources section. These items need to be looked at, but I'm going to go into a little more detail about APA style. So let's start with this website, Purdue Online Writing Lab. This is a great website, and I believe it is, let's check, I believe it is in the Writing Center in the assignment toolkit. Down here somewhere, right here, All English Purdue, right down here. All these websites in the Writing Center are wonderful resources. This Purdue OWL is a great resource because it explains everything to you about a paper. It shows you examples. Not only does it do that, it talks about in-text citations with authors and authors, footnotes and endnotes, and then it goes through all the references and reference sources that you may use within any kind of given writing assignment. So let's look at my announcement first here. This is the announcement I provided to everybody. Now, the announcement is very self-explanatory, and I know because a company looked at this website and they were very impressed with how detailed it was. So if they think it's detailed, that means that it's written pretty well. The idea here is for you to read over it and look at the formatting. The formatting is not difficult. It's kind of like a puzzle. So you see here you have you need an author, you need the date, title of an article, and then if it's a website, retrieved from, and the website address. So I give you exact example of what one would look like. All you're doing in a sense is erasing the word author and putting the real author's name in. Erasing the word date and putting the real date in. Erasing the word title of article and placing the real title of the article. And then with the web address. Then you have explanations, where I talk about the author and exactly what you need, the date and exactly what you need, the title and the web address. And then you also have a book reference that's in here. I give a few notes. I have a YouTube video that is not made by me. This YouTube video is made from someone else that I found. A couple other websites. And then citationmachine.net. This is a wonderful website because it formats everything for you. All you have to do is find the information. And I'll come back to that a little later. So let's look at the Purdue OWL website now. In here, you can click on just about anything. We're going to go to in-text citations, and I'm going to talk to you real briefly about an in-text citation. An in-text citation is when you take somebody else's work, the author's work you're using, and you place it in the paper. So, for example, here you have, according to Jones, that would be the author, 1998 would be the year. And then the student has parentheses between the quote, meaning she or he is actually saying this word for word from the author's material. Students often have difficulty using APA style, especially when it's their first time. Page number, in parentheses, period. So that is an in-text citation. And the purpose of an in-text citation is to add to what you are making a claim. This strengthens your claim. So when someone reads it and they think, oh yeah, well that's not real, or that's not reality, you can then have the quote from a reputable person where the reader will say, oh wow, that does correlate, that's pretty cool. So this is where your in-text citations come in. Now it shows you how to do an in-text citation if you use the author's name first. It also shows you an in-text citation if you do not use the author's name first. You see a long quotations, and then there's the summary or paraphrase, which is also very important when you are writing your paper. Now remember, you're not putting a ton of reference or in-text citations in your paper. You're putting just enough to use to add a backing to your paper. So some other things on here, you have in-text citations, author and authors. This gives you more information when you have multiple authors. This is something to look over. You have footnotes and endnotes. We have basic reference rules here. This is very important, and it just keeps going down the line. What I would like to show you now is basically setting up your reference page. This, just one note on here, this also talks about types of papers, avoiding bias. I would really recommend that you read this very thoroughly and maybe bookmark it so that you can come back to it. All right, let's start with our reference. When you are writing a reference page, the first thing you will need to remember is it is the last page of your paper. So in this 5-page paper, it will be page 7. I believe it starts on page 7. First thing you'll do is you will center only the references, the word references. You'll hit enter. Let me fix my spacing here. And then you will make sure you left align the paper. Sorry. You also want to make sure that this is double space. I'm going to make that double space now. And now I'm going to type my references. Now when you first do this, you can type them any way, you know, in any order. Actually, I'm going to back this up. Before I do this, I'm going to go over something again with you. So again, we were talking about putting authors' information and all that information in. I'm going to show you exactly how to do this. I was going to talk to you more about something else, but I decided that I think this will be easier this way. Now I'm taking these references from a paper, so your references obviously will be different. Now I'm taking the time to actually type this while I'm filming this so that you can see how poorly I'm typing right now. So you can see exactly what could happen to you. My computer is being slow, I apologize. While you're working on your references. Now you'll notice that when I was writing this, that this one here is a book. You'll notice it's a book, and the reason you know it is because when we have the publishing city and we have the publisher's name. You'll also notice that my title is completely italicized. You'll also see that you only capitalize the first letter in the title, except when you have a colon. Then you will capitalize the first letter in the following title or the subtitle of that reference. So normally the first letter of the title gets capitalized, and that is it. The rest stay lowercase, and it has to be italicized. So there's my first reference. Now I'm going to move on to my second one, and I'm going to come back and fix a few of these things. And I'm actually going to pause this video for a minute. Alright, now I'm back. I paused the video so that I could type a few of these sources in so I didn't waste a bunch of the video and you watching me type things in. That's not that exciting. So now that I have a few references in, I only did 3, but you are required to have at least 4. I am going to, actually I'll throw one more in here. Let me pause this video real quick. And I'm back again. So here are my references. Here I have 4 references. You may have more, but just because you only need 4, I'm going to show you 4. Now it looks kind of jumbled up and messy here right now, and those things will be remedied right today. The first thing you would want to do or make sure is that when your reference, and you'll notice this reference here is longer than the line. So it doesn't fit on the first line. So if you hear me write to you that you need to make sure you indent all lines after the first line, this is what I'm talking about. This is your first line of the reference. This is your second line. You cannot keep it this way. So what do you have to do? Pretty simple. You're going to take your cursor and put it at the end of the second line of your reference. You'll hit the Enter key and you'll tab it in. And you will do that for all of these. And you'll notice that one of the references, I lost my place, is a very short one, and it stays on one line. So there's no indentation needed for this one. But this third one goes on to the second line, so we must indent, along with this one, and along with the last one. Let me show you exactly what a website reference looks like. This is from the Purdue OWL website. And the author is the Purdue University Writing Lab, the year, the title in italicized, and then retrieved from, and your web address. The easiest way to get a web address is to go into your web page, click on the top, click the Control-C button on your keyboard, and then paste it right into your paper. Now you might say, oh, well, that's pretty easy, but something happens when I do that. And you are correct. So let me copy this, paste it, and I'm going to hit enter. Oh, well, my computer doesn't do it. So I'm going to show you exactly what happens. When you hit enter, it will hyperlink and turn it blue, just like that did. Now it will automatically do it. You won't have to go through the steps that I just did. This will automatically happen normally in Microsoft Word. So to get rid of it, you can highlight it. You can then either right click and you can go to where it says remove hyperlink, or you can go up to the insert tab, go to hyperlink, and click the remove link here. When you do it, it takes it away and you do not have any blue or an underline underneath your reference. So let's get rid of that. I was checking something there. So after you get all of your references put into your reference page, you have to also make sure that they are in alphabetical order. And it's very easy to do that. All you need to do is highlight and move your references where they need to be. You can also do this by making sure you type them in alphabetical order in the first place, but really just moving them with Microsoft Word really isn't that difficult. And you can see I now have a completed reference page, starting with the letter K and going all the way to the letter Z. And this is what my page should look like. Now, some of your references may not look like the ones that I used, and that is fine, but this is just so you can get an idea, typo, and get an idea of what your reference page should look like. If you have any questions about references, APA style, please get in touch with me via Moodle message, Partly Cloudy section, or if you're really having trouble, you can get a hold of me during my office hours.